So if you're watching this, you're probably between the ages of 18 to 25. And if so, this video is for you. So keep watching if you want to learn the secrets on how to get your life together. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Josue Muniz. I am 21 years old. I am currently a grad student, a business owner, entrepreneur, and I'm here just to spread everything I've learned in my 20 years of life, experience, relationships. Let's dive into this. So the reason I chose 18 to 25 is because of two things. When you're 18, you're going through what's called a discovery phase. You're discovering yourself, and at 25, you're usually going through a rediscovery phase, meaning you're rediscovering yourself, you're learning the things that you used to like, maybe new things that you like, and you're seeing a new perspective of yourself. So let's be real. When you're 18, you're a baby, right? You're probably barely entering the workforce. You're about to graduate or have already graduated from high school. You've had maybe 1 to 2 serious relationships. You really have no bills to pay. You usually have a good amount of friends, and you're barely transitioning into what we call adulthood. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have 25. When you're 25, you have probably already finished college or about to finish. You're probably a veteran in the workforce. You've had now maybe 2 to 3 serious relationships. You have bills to pay, and your friendships are probably solidified, meaning they're not going to change anymore, and it's very rare that you'll get a new one. But I have good news for you. Whether you're at the end of the spectrum or the higher end of the spectrum, you are still in your prime. But the things I'm about to share with you, you need to make sure you're solidifying them now. So the way we're going to break down this video is in 3 categories. The first one being goals, the second being relationships, and the third being money. So let's talk about goals. And when you talk about goals, you need to talk about purpose. And let's get down to purpose then. Even if you feel watching this video that you don't have a sense of purpose or you don't know your overall purpose, you need to find small purposes, very tiny ones even, through goal setting. Your ability to set goals and achieve them bring motivation, which bring achievement, which bring purpose. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to take the next 3 months and I want you to put together 3 goals that you want to achieve at the end of the next 3 months. Meaning you have 90 days to make these goals a reality. And this will give you a sense of something to work towards, something to, maybe if you haven't had a purpose of why to wake up in the morning, this will fill that gap. And I need you to make sure that you will do everything in your power. Then nothing will stop you from achieving these goals that you set at the end of 90 days. Because if you can achieve these goals by the end of 90 days, you can set new ones for another 90 and then set new ones for another 90 because now you know you can do it. And when you do something for 90 days, I believe that that turns into a lifestyle, meaning it's not a choice for you anymore. It's just something that's normal. Second, relationships. Now, when I say relationships, I don't just mean with your significant other. I'm talking about all relationships, friendships, family, whatever it is. I'm talking about all forms of connectivity with other people. So the reality is when we mention friendships, we have to look at the opposite. The opposite of friendships and relationships and community is being alone, being isolated. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Batman yourself. You were not made to be alone. You were not made to be in isolation. I don't care if you're the loner kid or you think it's cool to be alone. Deep down, and I know because I'm a human, and if you're watching this, you're probably a human too. We all strive for connection. We all strive for the ability and the opportunity to be in communities. So if you're 18 to 25 watching this, I am urging you to be someone who is pursuing these relationships, pursuing these communities. So to do this, you need to be welcoming, you need to be outgoing, and you need to find your groups. And the way you find your groups, it's very simple. You find people who are maybe doing the same thing you're doing or have the same interest that you enjoy doing. And the reason I say this is because when you're 18 to 25, the friends, the connections, the communities you make during that time are going to be with you for a lifetime, because this is when those friendships are solidifying. They're closing down to stay with you for literally an eternity. And you can even reference the first part that we talked about, which was goals. Find people who are chasing maybe the same goals, have the same mindset, and find those groups and plug yourself into those groups. But disclaimer, do not make the mistake of putting too much time into your relationships that you forget about the first one, which was goals, and the goals that you have to achieve by the end of the 90 days. Because if you don't find a good balance between both, your goals are going to suffer as a result. And we talked about it already. Goals give you balance and goals give you purpose. Lastly, money. You need to create a budget. I don't know really how more simple I can say this. You need to create a money budget to follow. And this is the reason. When you're 18 to 25, you're going to be running through a lot of money, whether that's with friends, whether that's with family, your significant other, books for school, new backpack, new shoes because you want to impress people, whatever it is. I promise you, if you're 18 to 25, and maybe you're older than this watching and you already know what I'm talking about, you're going to be spending a lot of money in this time of your life. And money is a blessing and we need to use it wisely. We need to be good stewards of our income, of our money. So this is something I always say when it comes to money. If it doesn't make sense to buy it, don't buy it. See, if you don't need it, don't buy it. Now there's a difference between need and want. Needs our foods, need our clothes, needs our cars, needs our homes, right? Things we actually need to get around and do daily stuff. But wants are different. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should never pursue your wants, right? But only follow your wants and buy your wants when the budget makes sense, when it makes sense for you to do so because of your budget. So think about this concept for a second. Your income is literally your money value. So if you constantly give your income away to shoes, a new computer, books, whatever it is, gifts for other people, whatever it is, that is you giving your income away. The only way a millionaire became a millionaire was through income. The only way a billionaire became a billionaire was through income. So if you ever want to be financially comfortable or maybe a millionaire or billionaire one day, you need to stop giving away your income so easily. And maybe you're watching this and saying, well, I only make $200 a month, $300. We've all been there. I've been there. And no matter how small your income, you need a budget. Because if you apply that principle at an early stage, then when you're making hundreds of thousands or maybe millions or maybe billions one day, you already have that principle and how you want to allocate and spend your money. And I'm not going to necessarily give you the specifics of a budget, but I will say this. When creating your budget, make sure you have a section for savings, investments, and your Roth IRA. That's going to be key for the long run. So overall with money, don't let money dictate where you go. You dictate where the money goes.